The candle in Zaid's hand burned colder than ice. He stared at it through the window of the abandoned hut, black wax, silver flame, exactly like the one his grandfather had left him. But this one sat in a village 200 miles from Tumari, in a place called Wedaru, where no one had answered their doors in 3 days. The flame flickered, then it went out. Somewhere inside the hut, a woman screamed. If you thought Zaid's story was over, you were wrong. Subscribe now, because what's waiting in these 6 villages will make Kofi's curse look like mercy. 2 weeks earlier, Zaid had spread Kofi's map across their kitchen table, while baby Sarama slept in Imara's arms. 6 villages, Imara whispered, tracing the red marks with her finger. 6 candles, 6 cursed guardians like your grandfather. Kofi's note said they made the pact together. 6 fishermen, 6 different spirits, all in the same year. Zaid pointed to the closest mark, Wedaru, a fishing village on the northern shore of Lake Malanda. If they're all connected, they're all breaking down at the same time. Why now? It's been 70 years. Because I broke the first seal when I freed Sarama's spirit. The lake spirits are connected, break one pact, and the others start to crack. He looked at his daughter. We have to stop them before more children get caught in the curse. Imara shifted the baby to her other arm. Then we start with the closest one. 3 days later, they stood at the edge of Wedaru with borrowed supplies and growing dread. The village was silent. Not peaceful silent, wrong silent. Fishing nets hung on the docks, still dripping fresh water like they'd just been pulled up. Cooking fires smoldered outside empty huts. A child's toy boat floated in the shallows, spinning in slow circles. But no people. Hello, Zaid called out. His voice echoed across the water and died. Imara clutched baby Sarama tighter. Something's very wrong here. They found the first body behind the chief's hut. An elderly man, eyes wide open, skin blue-gray. Silver foam crusted around his mouth and nose. He drowned on dry land just like grandmother Fella. Then they found the second, and the third, and the fourth. 12 bodies total, all elders, all drowned from within. The younger villagers were simply gone, huts empty, belongings abandoned mid-task. They ran, Imara said, kneeling beside one of the bodies. The elders tried to maintain the pact and it killed them. The rest fled before it could claim them too. Zaid followed wet footprints that led from the lake to the largest hut at the village center. The door hung open, creaking in the wind. Inside, a black candle sat on a clay altar, its flame burning silver. A woman's voice came from the shadows. You shouldn't have come here, son of Kofi. She stepped into the candlelight, 50 years old maybe, with gray streaks in her braided hair and eyes that held too much knowledge. Her skin had a faint grayish tint, like she'd been underwater too long. My name is Tandu, she said, daughter of Jabari, granddaughter of the second guardian. She gestured to the candle. And apparently the one who gets to clean up this mess. You're the 7th generation, Zaid asked. Was supposed to be my cousin, but he drowned himself rather than take the oath. Very inconsiderate. Her smile was bitter. So the curse jumped to me. Lucky me. Imara stepped forward, baby Sarama stirring against her chest. How long has the candle been burning? 6 days. The elders lit it when they realized their protection was failing. They thought offering me early would appease the lake spirit and save the village. Tandu's hands trembled. It just made her angry. Heard. Mama Coco, the drowned twin. Tandu moved to the window, staring out at Lake Malanda. The story goes that in 1955 a woman named Coco gave birth to twins during a storm. One lived, one was stillborn. My great-grandfather Jabari was the midwife. He was supposed to perform the proper burial rites, but he was drunk. He just threw the stillborn into the lake like garbage. The baby in Imara's arms began to cry. The mother went mad with grief, Tandu continued. She drowned herself trying to retrieve her baby. Their spirits merged in the water, mother and child, rage and sorrow. That's what Jabari made his pact with. That's what's been guarding this lake for 70 years. Zaid felt ice in his stomach. Kofi murdered a pregnant woman. Your great-grandfather desecrated an infant's body. What did the others do? I don't know, but Kofi's note said you broke his pact. Tandil turned, hope flickering in her gray-tinted eyes. Can you break mine? Before Zaid could answer, the candle flame turned black. The temperature dropped 20 degrees in seconds. Frost spread across the walls. And from the lake outside came a sound that made Zaid's blood freeze. A baby crying, mixed with a woman's wail, merged into something that should not exist. What emerged from Lake Malinda would haunt Zaid's nightmares forever. Keep watching. The water rose in a column 20 feet high, defying gravity, defying nature. Within it, two shapes twisted together. A woman's body wrapped around an infant's corpse, both translucent and furious. Mama Coco had arrived. She didn't walk onto shore. She flowed, the water carrying her like a living throne. Where she passed, the ground turned to mud. Plants withered and died. Her voice was two voices, adult and child, speaking in perfect unison. Daughter of Jabari, light bringer, breaker of seals. Tandil fell to her knees, trembling. I didn't light it, the elders. The seal is broken, the pact is void, payment is due. The waterwoman's hollow eyes fixed on baby Sarama. An infant for an infant, that is fair. Imara backed toward the door, shielding Sarama. You can't have her. Then the daughter of Jabari descends. 70 years begin again. No, Tandil stood, fists clenched. I won't do what my great-grandfather did. I won't perpetuate this curse. The spirit laughed. A sound like drowning and infant screams merged. Then everyone drowns. Every child in Wedaru. Every infant within 10 miles. I will take what I am owed. Zaid stepped between them, heart hammering. What if we gave you what you actually want? The twin voices paused. Explain. You don't want servitude. Sarama didn't want it either. You want justice. You want your story told. You want Jabari to face what he did. Jabari is 70 years dead. But his body isn't. Zaid looked at Tandil. Where is he buried? Understanding dawned on Tandil's face. The family shrine, 3 miles north. Bring him here, Zaid said to the spirit. Bring his bones to the lake. Let him face you. Let the village see what he did. Then release this curse. The water swirled, the twin forms considering. And if I refuse? Imara stepped forward, lowering Sarama just enough for the spirit to see her face. Then you become exactly what Jabari made you. A monster who hurts children. Is that the legacy you want for your baby? The infant voice in the spirit began to cry, real tears, mixing with the lake water. I just wanted to be buried properly. I just wanted my mother to hold me. They dug up Jabari's grave in the dark, by lamplight breaking sacred ground that hadn't been touched in 70 years. Tandil wept as she worked, shoveling earth that held her great-grandfather's remains. I used to bring flowers here. I thought he was a hero. The elders said he saved the village. He saved himself, Zaid muttered, hitting something solid, and damned everyone else. The coffin was simple wood, rotted through in places. Inside, Jabari's skeleton lay wrapped in funeral cloth. And clutched in his bony hands, a tiny bundle. Another skeleton, so small it could fit in a palm. Oh God, Imara whispered. He kept the baby's body. He buried himself with it. Guilt, Tandil said. He knew what he'd done. They carried both skeletons back to the lake, where Mama Coco waited, her water form rippling with anticipation. When she saw Jabari's bones, the spirit's rage erupted. Lake Malinda rose in waves, flooding the shore, crashing against the huts. The merged voices screamed in fury and grief. 70 years he hid us. He was wrong, Tandil said, laying the bones at the water's edge. What he did was unforgivable, But his crime doesn't have to be your eternity. Take your baby, take your rest. Let this end. The water calmed slightly. Will you remember us? Yes, Tandil promised. I'll build a proper shrine. I'll tell your story. Everyone will know what happened to you and your child. Will you name us? Imara lifted baby Sarama. We named our daughter after the woman who saved her. Tell us your names, and we'll make sure they're never forgotten. The adult voice spoke alone now, soft and sad. I was Koko Mwangi. My daughter was Amara. Koko and Amara, Tandu repeated. I swear on my life you will be remembered. The water spirit bent down, impossibly gentle now, and lifted the tiny skeleton from Jabari's grasp. She cradled it against her chest, and for a moment the merged forms separated, mother and child distinct and whole. Thank you, Koko whispered. Then she sank into the lake, taking both skeletons with her. The water swallowed them like an embrace, like a long-delayed burial. The black candle went out. The curse broke. Tandil collapsed on the shore, crying with relief. The gray tint faded from her skin. The water receded to its normal level. From the forest, hesitant footsteps approached. The villagers who'd fled were returning, drawn by some instinct that the danger had passed. One down, Imara said quietly, rocking Sarama. 5 to go. Zaid pulled out Kofi's map. He'd marked Wedaru with a line through it. 5 red circles remained. But what Zaid found in the second village would make him question everything. Stay subscribed. The second village was called Kipara, built on stilts over a swamp where Lake Zambiri met the wetlands. They arrived at dawn to find the entire village underwater. Not flooded, transformed. The stilts descended into crystal-clear water that glowed faintly green. Through it, Zaid could see structures that hadn't been there before. Stone buildings, carved pillars, an entire submerged city beneath the fishing village. What is this? Imara breathed. An old woman sat on the one remaining dry platform, feet dangling in the water. She was ancient, 90 at least, with white hair and skin so dark it looked purple in the dawn light. You're late, she said without looking up. I've been waiting 3 weeks for someone to break the seal. Are you? 7th generation. No, child, I'm the first. She smiled, showing gaps where teeth used to be. My name is Zawadi. I made the original pact in 1955, and I'm still here because I found a loophole. Zaid's mind reeled. You're over 90 years old. 96. The lake keeps me alive because technically my service never ended. She gestured to the submerged city. This is Azima, the drowned kingdom. 300 years ago, a great city stood here. Then the rains came and never stopped. Everyone drowned. Everyone. Everyone except the children. The parents made a pact with the water spirits. Take us, spare them. The spirits agreed. They drowned the adults and raised the children in the spirit world. Zawadi's eyes glittered. Those children became the water spirits we make pacts with. They're not ancient gods. They're orphans. Very, very angry orphans. Imara sat down hard, nearly dropping Sarama. You're saying all 6 lake spirits are human. We're human. They've been spirits so long they barely remember. But yes. Zawadi pulled a black candle from her pocket unlit. I figured out the truth 30 years ago. I've been trying to find a way to free them ever since. Why didn't you just stop serving? Because if I die, the pact passes to my daughter, then my granddaughter, then my great-granddaughter. Zawadi's voice broke. I've been alive for 96 years to spare them, but I'm tired, children. I'm so very tired. Zaid looked at the map, at the 5 remaining marks. Understanding crashed over him. They're all connected, he said slowly. The 6 fishermen, the 6 villages, the 6 spirits, they all made their pacts in 1955, the same year. The year of the great drought, Zawadi confirmed. We were desperate, the lakes were dying, our children were starving. When the spirits offered us a deal, we took it without asking questions. What were the other crimes? Imara asked. Kofi murdered, Jabari desecrated a body. What did you do? Zawadi stared into the water for a long moment. I sold my son to the spirits, she whispered. He was 7 years old, sickly, not expected to survive the drought anyway. The spirit of Azima offered me a trade, my son, for the village's survival. I said yes. Tears ran down her weathered face. His name was Baraka. The spirit took him into the water. I never saw him again. Oh God, Imara breathed. The spirit I serve, the one I've been guardian for all these years. Zawadi's voice cracked. It's him. It's Baraka. My son drowned, became a water spirit, and I've been serving him for 70 years. He doesn't remember me. He doesn't remember being human. The water rippled. A child's voice called from beneath the surface. Mother! Baraka rose from Lake Zambiri, and Zaid's heart broke. He was still a child, 7 years old, frozen in the moment of drowning. Translucent, made of water and sorrow, with eyes that held 70 years of confusion. Mother, why did you send me away? Zawadi fell to her knees. Baraka, my baby, I'm so sorry. I've been here so long, I don't remember the sun, I don't remember your face. The water child drifted closer. Why didn't you come for me? I couldn't, the pact. You chose the pact. His voice grew sharp. Older, you chose the village over me. You chose strangers' lives over your own son. I know, and I've paid for it every day. I've kept myself alive just to spare our bloodline from serving you. Zawadi reached out with shaking hands. Please, Baraka, I can't make it right, but I can end it. Release me. Release the pact. Let both of us rest. The water child stared at her for a long moment. Then quietly, will you hold me just once? Zawadi opened her arms. Baraka flowed into them, water becoming almost solid, almost real. Mother and son embraced for the first time in 70 years. I forgive you, Baraka whispered. I don't understand, I don't think I ever will, but I forgive you. Thank you, Zawadi sobbed. Thank you, my baby, thank you. The water around them began to glow. The submerged city of Azima, lit up like lanterns, were being lit in every window, all the drowned children, all the orphan spirits, acknowledging this moment of reconciliation. Baraka dissolved in her arms, returning to the lake peacefully this time. Zawadi aged 70 years in seconds. Her skin wrinkled further, her hair went completely white, her bones became fragile. But she smiled. 2 curses broken, she whispered. Then she closed her eyes and died, finally at peace. The black candle in her pocket crumbled to ash. Zaid stood on the platform holding Kofi's map. 2 villages marked off now, 4 to go. But something was wrong. The other 4 marks on the map had started to glow red, like warning lights. What does that mean? Imara asked. Before Zaid could answer, his phone rang, a number he didn't recognize. A man's voice, distorted and wet. Son of Kofi, breaker of seals, you've made a terrible mistake. Who is this? We are the keepers, the other 4 guardians, and we're not as forgiving as Sarama or as weak as Koko. The voice laughed, bubbles bursting in the sound. You're breaking the balance. The spirits are waking. And when all 6 seals are broken, something far worse will rise from the depths. What are you talking about? The 6 spirits aren't the true curse, boy. They're the lock. They've been holding something down, something ancient, something that drowned the city of Azima in the first place. The voice grew serious. Stop breaking the seals, or the Mother of Waters will wake, and when she does, every lake in the region will swallow the land. The call ended. Zaid stared at the map, at the 4 remaining marks, now pulsing like heartbeats. Imara touched his arm. What do we do? He looked at baby Sarama, sleeping peacefully in her mother's arms. Then at the map. Then at the vast expanse of Lake Zambiri, where something very old and very angry was beginning to stir in the forgotten depths. We finish what we started, Zaid said, before it's too late. beneath the water far below, in a trench so deep no light had touched it in centuries, something opened its eyes. The Mother of Waters is waking, and Zaid has 4 curses left to break before she rises. Subscribe now and hit that bell. Part 3 drops soon, and everything you thought you knew about these curses is about to change. Comment below. Should Zaid stop breaking the seals or risk unleashing the Mother of Waters? Drop a like if this story gave you chills.